Hi traders, welcome to this video on the euro dollar and pound dollar. Good morning. We're going to take a look at the markets. Of course, they're on fire at this moment with a lot of US dollar weakness, apparently due to the fears of the coronavirus and I guess the economic impact as well that we're seeing across the board, across the globe. So let's take a look at the US dollar and check the charts. All right, let's start with the euro dollar. Now, there's a lot of movement going on in the stock markets. Big falls. Gold is moving up a lot. Oil is moving down a lot. I mean, there's a lot of volatile price action at this moment, as you know things are playing out in this first quarter with the coronavirus. The stock market has been in a huge uptrend, of course, since the Great Recession for more than a decade. So it was probably time for some type of retracement. This is probably a catalyst or a trigger for that. In any case, we're seeing wild reactions. This is just a big move from 107.50 to 115. Price tag 115. That's 750 pips for the euro dollar. That's really a lot, considering the fact that the euro dollar was in a narrow band for the last 1.5 years or so, from 115 down to, well, with the recent low at 108 ish. So this is a huge move up in a very quick period of time. Now, we had a bounce at the 78.6 fib. There was a comment from a viewer last video that said that they suspected still that price will go down to the 88.6 fib, and I respect that opinion, and I think that you can't rule that out because these deep fibs are often retested. But with the current momentum, I have to say that I think that more upside is still likely, in my view, and I think that price might have finally completed this bearish swing. This momentum is kind of, in my view, too strong for that, but you never know. But I'm leaning towards upside. I think that for the moment, put a fib from here to here, price is at the 38.2 fib. That could create some bounce, but unless it's a really enclosed and reverse kind of pattern, I suspect that price will go up towards the 50, 61, and maybe the 78.6 fib eventually. That's in the long term, though. Let's zoom in a little bit. Price is also breaking, by the way, on this monthly. I didn't show you, but on this monthly, it is breaking above the fractals in this trend line as well. All right, so down to the weekly, I should say. Price is at the 144 EMA. It's kind of breaking through it. Now, the break hasn't been that much, I guess, for a weekly chart, 150 pips. And it's at the 38.2 fib zone. So that could be a bouncing spot, and there could be some retracement. But otherwise, this is really a momentum we've not seen in this slow, choppy, falling wedge kind of pattern. Finally, we reached the 78.6 fib, and that kind of momentum to the upside has been unseen really since maybe 4 years ago or so. Let's go down up to the weekly. And last week's weekly candle, by the way, was enormously bullish with the close near the high. And we just had, in this week that just opened, already 170 pip continuation. Now, 170 pips just a few weeks ago would have been probably the kind of the max movement we would have seen in the entire week, let alone the opening of the week. So very strong weekly candle last week. All right, anyhow, let's go down to the daily. And I think that we're seeing some kind of retracement here at this moment. I suspected the price would go up to 112, 112.75, but it really just broke through that without any hesitation and made it right away in one shot up to the next quarter level. So I think at this moment, the only thing I'm waiting for is a 4-hour chart retracement probably. Let's take a look at that. Here we had this kind of consolidation zone and bull flag pattern, and then the break and continuation. That's just ongoing. So this looks like a wave 3, simply said. And I think that for the moment, we're seeing some reaction here. I would suspect that price could make a retracement. The question is how far and what is the next target. So let's take a look at the retracement level, first of all. All right. So, wow, what a move up all the way to WIS9. That's a long time ago that price made it up to such a high Fibonacci sequence level. I think probably it could retrace down to 113.25. Let's put a fib from here to here. Okay, if this is a wave 3 of a internal wave 3 on the 1-hour chart, this being wave 1, 2, 3 like that, and this a 4. So we could expect price to go to the 38.2 fib. For instance, 113.50 previous tops, maybe even down to 113, kind of break below the 20-day zone. I would say that's the 50 fib, excuse me. I probably think the 38.2 fib is the most likely at 113.50. That could be the bouncing spot for a continuation higher, but it could be all the way at 113, maybe 112.50, but not much more than that. If it breaks below 112.50, then max 112, but I wouldn't expect that. Then 112.50, I think that this could be a close in reverse. You never know. The volatile price action, of course, so you got to be on guard for everything. But I wouldn't suspect that. If it does break below 112.50, then got to be careful of the bullish upside that now looks very likely. All right, on the hourly chart, we're looking at a target for the moment, 261.8 target at 116. After that, 117.25. All right, those are the targets for the moment. But let's take a look at the 4-hour targets as well, see what kind of levels we see there. Let's put the fib as well from here, I guess, to here. All right, we just hit the minus 61.8 target, actually, as you can see. So let's move that a little bit to the left so we can see the difference. There we go. All right, so next minus 100 target is 116-ish. The 161.8/176.4 target of this bullseye indicator, which is an automated fib target tool from Mislav Nikolic. Very great tool for targeting. And that is coming in around 116 as well, /115.25. So could be a small reaction, 115.25. I suspect that it will go up to 116 and then maybe even extend up to 117.25 for the moment, or 117.50 probably. So to put that in perspective, I suspect this basically, and then move up, maybe then a correction back down, and then a move up, flag and continuation, something like that. Be on guard for these dips basically. The breakouts might not do too well anymore because it might slow down a little bit. We might get a channel like that that's respecting the 21 EMAs on the hourly and 4-hour chart, and I would suspect a continuation channel like that. I don't think there's going to be a close in reverse or reversal, but you never know. But for the moment, I'm expecting this. I don't think it will continue with the momentum. I mean, it cannot continue with such a momentum forever. It's going to have to eventually take a more moderate angle, and I think it will probably do something like that, but continue higher with higher highs and higher lows in a more sustainable uptrend channel for the moment, targeting probably 117.50 for the next target, more or less. All right. So looking at higher time frames, we see around 17 another confluence zone of fibs. We have the WIS9 of the daily chart. We have a 50 and a 38.2 fib counter trend fib there. So there's a lot of confluence there at 117. Now at the weekly chart, let's see, 117, yeah. But with such momentum, of course, it could go further than that. Don't get me wrong. It could go to the 61 or the 78.6 fib at 119 and 121. But for the moment, I think 117, let's take it step by step. I think 117.50 is the target for the moment. And then let's see what is achievable after that, of course. We'll have a new video on Wednesday. All right, we have a 50 fib bounce. We didn't have a continuation lower, so price didn't make it to the 61.8 fib. This breakout did not take place. So we got an immediate follow through. We didn't get a follow through. We got a reversal actually, and the price breaking above the 20 EMA. Therefore, with the break above the 20 EMA, this looks like a ABC or some kind of maybe complex correction finished. And it looks like 5 waves up, ABC completed. So this could be a wave A or 1, a B or 2, and now we're up for 3 or C for the moment, right? So bullishness at this moment on the pound dollar. This breakout and the bounce of this 50 fib makes that likely. A strong daily candle showing that as well. Weekly candle, very strong. Bullish engulfing twins, indicating that bulls are in control. And this week already an immediate follow through on that. Once again, we're looking at last month's high already broken in fact. So let's take a look at the 4-hour chart. All right, there we go. So WIS7 reached very strong momentum. I think that current momentum is so strong that it will probably be a minor pullback and just see an immediate follow through up to 132.50 and 133 round level. That's where we can get maybe a bigger bull flag into the 20 EMA, and then I would suspect a continuation higher again towards 135, the 100 fib, and the WIS9. So for the moment, let's see, down to the hourly chart then. And let me get rid of 1 second. Never mind. I wanted to get rid of this fib, but let me do it like this. Good. 1 hour chart. There we go. So this is looking like some type of wave 3. And at this moment, I suspect that it will just continue right away towards the 161.8 target zone at 132.75. If it doesn't, if there's a pullback, then 130, 130.50 should be still support. Maybe even 131 should be a support zone at 130, 131 for continuation higher. But actually, at this moment, looking at the current bullish price action, I think there should be a continuation. So I'm going to even dive into the 15-minute world. And yeah, if it bounces probably around this 131.25, 131 max, it could be the bounce at the 20-way, and there should be basically a continuation, I think, for the moment. So aiming at 132.50, 132.75. That seems likely. So up to the 4-hour chart, once it hits that target, I think it will be completing some type of potentially wave 3, of a wave 3 maybe even. We can put a fib perhaps from here to here like that. And there could be a pullback to the 23.6 fib, maybe the 38 and the 21 EMA zone. That could be a bouncing spot for continuation higher towards that 135 zone for the moment here at WIS9 and this 100 target as well. All right, so more continuation upside likely at this point on the pound dollar as well, and retest of the previous top, and eventually probably, to be honest, probably a break of that top if it's such a momentum correction and up. That remains valid as long as price stays above 129.50-ish, basically, I think. And yeah, if it breaks below 125.50 with a close and reverse, that could change things, of course. You never know. Very volatile market. But anything above 129.50, 130 is bullish territory. All right. That's it for this video. We'll be back on Wednesday, and wish you all good trading in the meantime. Cheers. Bye-bye.